On the eve of the opening of the 68th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, members of the public and private sectors gathered at the world-famous Waldorf Astoria Hotel to honor those who have advanced efforts to achieve the UN Millennium Development Goals and promote South-South cooperation. From prime ministers and presidents to professional athletes, the paparazzi turned out in force to get shots of attendees as they arrived at the third annual South-South Awards.
These awards are taking place, and this is wonderful because you have to give recognition to individuals and groups and so on and institutions.
Two national leaders were each presented a South-South Award at this year's ceremony for their tireless efforts in promoting innovative solutions to some of their country's greatest challenges, while advancing the causes of sustainable development across the global South. Prime Minister Josiah Bainimarama of Fiji received an award for global governance leadership for his role in promoting information and communications technology to address national and regional development challenges.
We have looked at broadband as both a challenge and an opportunity. It has demanded practical solutions that cast aside ideologies, engage as much of the population as possible, and keep our focus on what is good for the vast majority of Fijians.
President Laura Chinchilla Miranda of Costa Rica was also presented a leadership award for her ability to engage youth and innovative technologies to help meet national health, education, and sustainability goals. The award was received on her behalf by Minister of Planning and Economic Policy, Robert Gallardo Muñez.
We strongly believe that it is fundamental that every person has access to technology, especially young people. We should not reproduce the historic inequalities that divides our societies, denying people the access to technology.
Music legend David Paich was on hand to receive the South-South Lifetime Cultural Achievement Award. A songwriter and composer, Paich is best known for producing multiple hits for the band Toto, including the song Africa. Paich also worked on Michael Jackson's record-breaking Thriller album. He says he's always considered himself a musical ambassador and is honored to help advance the cause of sustainable development in the global South.
Rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa.
I'm just so glad that some of the music that I've written can be part of the contribution to this evening's event, and hopefully I'll be able to do more for South-South in the future.
Erin Brady, the reigning Miss USA for 2013, played the role of Mistress of Ceremonies for the evening. Miss Brady telling South-South News, promoting international understanding and cooperation is a goal worth working towards.
I'm honored to be here tonight. I'm representing the USA. I think it's very important to acknowledge other countries and all of the work that they're doing and all of the important people that are within the country.
Heads of state and government were present to honor the cause of South-South cooperation. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Baldwin Spencer said he was happy to honor the evening's award recipients, but also wanted to pay tribute to the efforts of the International Organization for South-South Cooperation and South-South News.
It means so much to me because South-South and what it represents bridges the gap between developed and developing countries. South-South cooperation and dialogue mean a great deal, but in terms of what this organization has been able to do through media, through engagement, through information and so on, has done a tremendous amount of work.
Prime Minister Thomas Tabane of Lesotho highlighted the year's theme of innovation and technology in sustainable development. Tabane telling South-South News that while important advancements are being made, leaders in the global South must make sure that today's youth are prepared for tomorrow's innovation and technology.
IT is the future for Africa, and every child in Africa today must now be IT compliant.
The evening's main event came with the honoring of former South African president and global icon of peace and justice, Nelson Mandela, with the South-South Humanitarian Achievement Award. And Mandela's wife, Graça Machel, received a Humanitarian Achievement recognition for her tireless advocacy for education and children's welfare. With illness preventing President Mandela and Madam Machel from receiving their awards in person, daughters Zinzi Mandela and Josina Machel happily stood in to help honor their parents.
It's important for us to recognize that they actually made many sacrifices for them to take a stand. They sacrificed family life, they sacrificed their own personal happiness for them to create the ideal type of environment for yourself and for myself. And I think we owe it to them and we owe it to all of those who came before to bring those values alive. It's about a culture of selflessness, it's a culture of tolerance, it's a culture of love, it's a culture of peace, and that's what we have to live by.
The evening saw a variety of performances from artists across the musical spectrum. Talk show host Arsenio Hall's band, The Posse 2.0, led by Robin DiMaggio, was the featured musical performance of the night. A highlight of the evening was an inspirational tribute song to the Mandelas, performed by Yvonne Shaka Shaka, known fondly as the Princess of Africa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the Princess of Africa, Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
His name is Nelson Mandela. I make sure the fire burns to make my beer my special beer.
The closing moments of the third annual South-South Awards provided both a touching and poignant moment provided by the Princess of Africa. The evening succeeding in its goal of honoring those who push forth efforts in achieving the Millennium Development Goals and achieving South-South cooperation, leaving attendees with a new sense of optimism and momentum for achieving those goals. Mike Mazzocco for South-South News, New York.